Hi everyone, this is Katie Carney, and this is Katie Carney Stitching and my Flosstube number 76. How the time flies. It is Sunday, the 29th of January, 2023, and I hope that you're all well. I think it's been 2 weeks since my last video, and I have been a very productive stitcher. I had my first finish of 2023. It's a tiny finish, but I fully finished a few things this morning, so there was that. And then I have some updates. So I hope that everybody's well. I've had a good couple weeks. I went to Philly Friday night to see the orchestra. We saw Rachmaninoff's Third and Fourth Piano Concerto and his Rhapsody. So it was some of the last pieces he wrote, which he wrote for the Philadelphia Orchestra. So that was really fun. It was a fantastic show. And we'll see the first and second piano concerto this coming weekend, actually on our anniversary, which is very special. It's Rachmaninoff's 150th birthday, and he wrote a lot for the Philadelphia Orchestra, so it was fun. And then last night I went in Scranton to see Anastasia, it's off-Broadway, but the off-Broadway show with my dear friend Bernadette. She got that for me for Christmas, and it was so fun. Mark and I saw it last year in Philly, and a couple of the cast members were the same, and it just happened that some of my favorite cast members were the same, so that was good. It was a lovely production. There were some probably middle and high school students and their mothers with them. It was boys and girls. They ate the entire show, and it was like the whole time. And the moms were drinking wine and they were talking, and it took considerable restraint for me not to say something. I mean, the tickets were expensive for Scranton. Well, they were expensive in general, but for Scranton, you've got 8 people here and you're going to eat the entire time and disrupt. Like, this isn't a movie theater. And talk, and then the one boy couldn't be bothered to clap at the end of the show. I just can't imagine. And the mothers were as bad as the rest of them, drinking their wine and eating. I guess it was and then the one kid at one point, he goes, we could have just watched this on Disney Plus. And I guess that's probably the problem, is they did not understand how special it is to see things live. So it was very frustrating, but that's okay. And then today I was cantering at Mass, and I thought I was cantering at the 9:30 Mass, which is my Mass. That's the one I go to usually. So I rolled in at 9:30. My boss, one of my bosses, who happens to also be a cantor, was there, and I said, "Oh, are you cantering?" And she said, "Yes." Yeah, I was cantering at 11. Luckily, my church is 6 blocks from my house, so I just turned around and went back home, and I stuffed the pillows that I had sewn this morning, so it all worked out. We are not stressed. Anyway, I think that's all the updates I have. So let's transfer to my fully finishes. So I made this. It's got hair on it. This little pillow. Well, I finished the little bunny. I think this is a Lindy Stitches piece. It is definitely on a 14 count Ada using the called for DMC. I could be wrong, but I think it's Lindy Stitches. So I've had this finished since last spring, but I hate fully finishing. But I was like, if I'm going to do one, I'm going to just do a couple. So I had this already out. So it's just a green florally tree backing fabric. And then the Ada is just a cheap Ada from Michaels that has like a pink and purple and green hint to it. So yeah, love that. And I didn't sew the fabric on backwards for once. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. My nose just started running. Apparently it's a Flosstube thing. So anyway, here's my first finish. This little bunny, very cute. I'm probably just going to leave it out since Ash Wednesday is quickly approaching. And then this one I had stitched in the fall, and I had sewn it, but I hadn't stuffed it. So I finally stuffed it this morning. This was a kit, And that's the backing fabric that I chose. You can see it's even got the little button on it. I didn't forget. So that's number 2. This one I will probably put away, I guess, until the fall. And then, like I said, Marks and My Anniversary is... Oh, I don't remember who this is by. I used the called for fabric and floss because it was a kit. And someone gave it to me, and I don't remember. And then this, Marks and My 6-year anniversary, is on the 4th. So I usually end up making something kind of last minute because I want to give him something. And this year I wasn't gonna, and then I wanted to. So when I ask Mark something, you know, are you happy, or, you know, do you love me, or, you know what I mean, anything, he'll always say always. And he doesn't know that that's a Harry Potter thing, like that Snape always loved Lily. But, you know, always, big word. And it's just the word he uses, and he is the kind of person who he never doubts, which I guess is the exact opposite of me. I doubt everything. So he says always, and that's kind of his word. So this is Cecilia Turner, and I think it was free, and it's always. It's supposed to be a couple colors. This is a 28 count. This is a 28 count even weave that I hand dyed. I'm currently trying to get a piece of paper. There we go. So 28 count that I hand dyed. And then the floss is it's called Soap. It is right here, actually. So it's the Color and Cotton, the Every Flavor floss that they do for Frogwarts. And this is the color Soap. So it's like a whitish with just a little bit of blue and maybe a tiny, tiny bit of purple. Yeah. But it's almost a white. So there's that. And then the backing fabric, I had a piece of Disney fabric from like Walmart, and it's the Castle from Beauty and the Beast stained glass. And that is because our song is How Does a Moment Last Forever by Celine Dion. So it felt fitting because that's from the newer Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson? No, Hermione from Harry Potter. So that's this I started on, I got like 10 stitches in on Friday, and then I did it yesterday, and I love it. I'm actually very happy with it. So what I'll do is I'll give this to him, and usually I expect to get it right back, but last year he took what I made. I made 2 little mice into a pillow last year, and he took it home. I don't know why. So I don't know what he'll do with this year. We shall see. So that segues into, I said last time that I was probably going to get a tablet and get Pattern Keeper. And I did. I went to Walmart. I got a clearance Samsung. It's an A8, so it's not their fancy line. But I didn't need a fancy tablet. It was on clearance for $150. And then I just got a case on Amazon and then a stylus. I love this stylus. So mine is not compatible with the Samsung Pen, which is fine because they're like $80. It's got all different options. So it's got that little one there. It's got this one that looks like a microphone. And this one looks like a pen top. And then there's an actual pen. So I just got a nice stylus, and I downloaded Pattern Keeper. And let's see here. Put in my passcode. So this is a free design, so I don't feel guilty showing it to you. So this is what the PDF of that pattern looks like. And I loaded it into Pattern Keeper. And so you're going to see where it's a light gray. Whoops, there we go. where it's a light gray, that's the stitches I did. And then the ones that are not, oh, and I did all these. The ones that are not, like around always, I didn't put in. They were supposed to be a different color. But it's great because you can go in and out as much as you want. And particularly with, like, I noticed for the border, it was great because I could stop in the middle and like go to the bathroom or do laundry or whatever I needed to do. And then I could pick right back up. So I definitely see how people get hooked onto Pattern Keeper. So that was a not compatible pattern. I had to like fudge to get it in. But then To All a Good Night is a compatible pattern. So that's the Lindy Stitches piece I'm working on. So I had the PDF, I added it to Pattern Keeper, and then I put in, so this is all I have done on it. So that's all the stitches I have done, and you can see like in here, I've not done that section yet, and I'm at 17.69%. Love that. And then I'm trying to figure out, Jen had to show me how to do this, by the way. She gave me a lesson. So then you can zoom in. The more you zoom in, the more you can see the pattern. So for instance, I'm going to show you a little bit of it, but it's not the whole thing. You can see there's that peacock there. When I do that, I'll just be able to mark off the stitches as I do them. So that was one thing that I have used Pattern Keeper. I'm still on the trial. I think you get the trial for a month. I should be like within a day or two having to pay for it, but I think it's like $7. So I'm thrilled with that. But while I am showing you what I'm using my tablet for, I also purchased, so when I got this, I was like, oh, maybe I'll finally start digital planning. There's a planner I use from a Catholic company called Blessed is She. It's a female-owned Catholic company, and I do use their liturgical planner, but they have a digital version, which I purchased. And I downloaded Note Shelf to use it. But the problem is they literally just gave you what they sent to the printer. And that's your planner. So you can't look at like all of January there. You can only look at one half of January. So like how the planner sits open, you can look at the first half, like the whole month. You can't do that on here. So like, sorry, you guys don't care about this. So there's the first half of the month. Well, not the first half. That's half of the month. And then there's the second half. So it really doesn't work. But wait, there's more. I remembered that Jen Lee had a 24 hours of cross stitch planner. And I thought to myself, I am going to be doing 20 patterns this year. Wouldn't it be great to be able to really track my progress and have the pictures right there and the whole thing? So her planner was on sale for $9.60 during 24 hours of cross stitch last weekend. So I bought it. Let's see if I can get to the home page. There we go. So here's the planner, and I just wrote in 2023 and I put my Katie Stitching logo on it. You guys, her planner is beautiful. And if she did a dated planner, I would buy it, no question. It's beautiful. What did I do here? Okay. So then I did an index, and this is all of my, there they are. This is all of my patterns for the year, and you can see the little purple dots. That means that it's come up in my rotation, and by rotation I mean my house robot asking it for the number. So you can see Kringles has come up, Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, Celtic Lady, or Autumn, Celtic Autumn, and To All a Good Night. So I just put the designer in, and if I knew offhand when I started it. But then, if you look at these tabs, is Somebody's outside. If you look at these tabs, it's all the numbers. So, for instance, Kringles is number 7. So if you click on number 7, I wrote Kringles there. And then here's the details. It's on Parisian Gray, 32 count, called for floss. Or 36 count, excuse me. And then I wrote that I worked on it 1/7 to 1/16, and I finished the roof. And I added beginning and ending photos. I love it. Jen Lee, you're a genius. Thank you so much. So anyway, this is just a really great way for me to track all of my projects. Now, for something like Always that I just did, what I did was, that's not in my 20 it took me a day, it doesn't count. So I added a second page and I put that in, and I put the start and the finish. And then in the miscellaneous, so this is called, what is this? All the details. So I just added finishes 2023, and I added the picture, and you can add pages. So I'll be able to put all my finishes in here. And now that I've purchased this, I can have a new one every year. Jen Lee, love it. So for me, it works because I might have up to 24 whips, but I can't imagine ever having more than that. I do like to keep it under 20. So I highly recommend. I'll try to remember to put the link to her Etsy shop. She's got a couple different things, but that digital 24 hours. So for her, it's supposed to be for your 24 hours of cross stitch. I'm using mine for a whole year, but love it. Highly recommend. I'm going to keep that out though, because we're going to have to pick my next project. So, wow, I'm sorry. This is going to be a little longer, but that's okay. So you all remember Welcome to Hogwarts? This is a Country Magic stitch piece with a piece of floss on it. I ironed it this morning, and either tomorrow or Tuesday, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to pick a frame and get it framed. So the next time I record, you should be seeing that fully framed. And then I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to get this framed also. I had thought about a flat fold, and maybe that's what I'll do, and I'll have them cut a mat for me at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to take this in also. And then the only thing I'll have left to FFO is my Frogworks Year 1 piece that I want to turn into a drum, and I'm too scared to do it. Okay. Sorry, I'm moving you. I just dropped all my whips. I'll be right back. Okay, back to my whips. They were all over the floor. It's between the plastic patterns and the vinyl covers, they just... So last time you saw me, I was working on Kringles. This is a Little House Needleworks piece. I'm using a 36 count Parisian Gray, and I'm using the called for color and cotton and DMC. My goal for this time was to finish all of this up here, and I did. And it looks great, actually. So here it is. So since you saw it last, I think I had put in, so there was some, it's like Parisian Gray. Let's see. I want to say that it's DMC 640, and it's the same color as the Parisian Gray. So it's right in here in the windows. There's stitching in there. And it is the same color as the Parisian Gray. And I discovered that it is the color of all of the mortar in the brick. So I don't know if I'm going to add it to the mortar, because mortar is set back. Like, it's not like when you go through brick. Remember when we were kids and you used to run your finger through the mortar? So I might leave that out. I haven't decided yet because you really can't tell that I stitched in here. Do I have, where's my piece of paper? So it's the exact same color. Have not decided yet what I'm going to do about that, but I am pleased with that roof. It's beautiful. And then I think what I will do next time is the top section, this 3 houses here, that brickwork. And maybe the white outline on the windows. And then I'm sure I'll be done and ready to move on to something else. So that was the first piece that I worked on. And like I said, 36 count Parisian gray. It's in this pretty bag. I'm using the called for DMC and color and cotton. I bought a thread pack when it came out in 2020, right before market and as COVID was hitting. The last time I was in Philadelphia before COVID. Rocio sent it to me and I had to get it. Who, by the way, I heard from. I'm so happy that I'm sure she's not watching this, but I was really happy to hear from her and that she's okay. All right, so after that, my next project was Celtic Autumn. I am doing the conversion by Little Cat. So it's more autumnal colors than the purple that it was originally called for. I am using a 32 count natural linen, I think. And here's the floss for that. And my goal on this project was to finish the gold, but then when I was done the gold, I did want to keep going. So the gold on the dress, the gold is done except for just a tiny little bit on the bodice, but I didn't trust my counting because I know who I am as a person. So last time I did from about here up and probably some more in here. And then when I finished the gold, I worked on, so there's all stitches in here, it's all taupe, and this is white. And then, so I need like a third hand. Sorry. So I did all this in here, and then the green down here, and then this white. And I had thought I would oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I thought would keep going for another couple days, but I got some not great news at work, and I just needed to change, so I switched that night. So I do think that if I spent some real time on this, I might be able to finish it this year. So that has now become the loose goal. We'll see. This project, sorry about the rustling, is not going to be going in Pattern Keeper because I've already highlighted all over it. So I'm just going to keep going. But the rest of my lavender and laces and all those, I'm going to a professional, like an architectural copying firm, and they're going to scan the patterns into PDFs. I went to Staples in Wilkes-Barre, which is about a half hour away, a couple weeks ago, and they said it would take a week for them to scan a couple documents in as PDFs, and I said, okay, I'll go somewhere else. And I found a place that it's right in downtown. I practically drive past it on my way to work. A friend of mine who I used to work with at a local museum recommended them. And I called, they said it wouldn't be a problem, and they open at 7 a.m. So I'm a morning person, I just have to get there. I was going to go last Monday, and it snowed, and then the rest of the week just kind of snowballed. So that was my second whip. And then when I decided I needed to switch from Celtic Autumn. I asked for another number, and my number was 9. It was Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, which I think we knew last time. My goal for this one was, I thought, to just do the one side of the outline of the brown. So I had done the brown up here, and I think here, and I had started this one, and I was going to work all the way down. Then I was studying this chart, which this is Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. This is by Carriage House Samplings. I am doing this on a 40 count. Hang on, I have it here. A 40 count sand Newcastle linen. Picture this plus. And it's a beautiful piece of fabric. Huge. So anyway, I was looking at the pattern, and I was looking very seriously at it, and I was like, I do not like this. And that is, the mists are still on Field and Hill, but for some reason I didn't like the owls. I love owls, but they didn't look like owls to me. And I was like, well, I don't really want to do that one then. I have to pick another one. And then I looked down, and I never liked this one. Tom the turkey. 1, I don't like turkey. 2, I don't like turkeys. And 3, that is the giantest, weirdest looking turkey I ever saw in my life. So Tom and the owls are getting left off. So instead of 12, I'm going to have 10. So it'll only be this big, which is fine. So I decided I would outline the whole thing. So here's where I am. I'm hoping to finish either today or tomorrow. I've got the first, oops. It's so big. Let me stand up. So I've got the first set done, and I've worked my way down on the second, and I just have to go back up and cross my X's. Because I've been doing half stitches and going back. It's a great thing about the DMC. It makes it easier to count. Although I didn't have to count on the way down, I will have to count now. I've been doing these in hand. My eyes have adjusted to the 40 count, and for just straight stitching like that, I like to stitch in hand. I'm going to put it, once I'm done this, I will be able to cut the fabric because there's too much, and I will put it in a frame. So that'll be nice. So I'm almost done that, and I thought it would be fun. You guys might not think it's fun. I think it's fun. I thought it would be fun if I asked the house robot, who is over there by my mugs, what my next project would be. So let's ask. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 20.
Here's a number between 1 and 20. It's 18.
Alexa, pick another number.
Here's a number between 1 and 10. It's 8.
Okay, so she picked 18 first, but that is for me. I'll show it to you. For me, 18 is and to all a good night, and I've already worked on that. So then she picked 8, and that is Coming to America. So let's pull that out, and I'll show it to you, and I'll start working on that. Hang on just one second. All right, so Coming to America is a with thy needle and thread piece, and I have it on this giant piece of fabric here. Here it is so far. And I think my goal will probably be, where's the pattern? Oh, here it is. I have it here. So I think my goal, here it is. This is with thy needle and thread. And I think my goal will be to finish the ship and the water. And I think, well, I have decided that I'm going to leave the names off. And yeah, I'm going to leave the names off. I have not figured out, like, I think what I'll do is where it says 1620, I'll add 2020 in that same line, or I'll repeat the 2020 above Plymouth here. And then I'm probably going to leave this woman off. I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't know. Let's just work on the ship first. So this time we're going to work on the ship and the water. So yay. That'll be my next one. That one will probably take me a couple weeks. So you'll see what I finish on Hawk Run, and then that might be that and Coming to America when I film again. And maybe my fully finished Welcome to Hogwarts. We'll see. So that was fun. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon.